divine evening, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light. Catch that full moon. Happy full moon, Capricorn. I had to catch it before because the cloud want to come and cover it, and I'm going to have to wait till they come back out. So I started out with the moon. Bam, here I am. Happy, happy, happy full moon to all of you. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. Speaking from the fifth dimension, for those of you who don't know, I am, those of you know me as Akila, but I'm going to say today, I am Celestial Earth. I done graduated. Happy graduation day under this full moon. I'm saying that and I'm sharing that with you because this is about the cosmic graduation, what we are shifting to, right? So it's either do or die, right? Choose or die, do or die, however you want to look at it. No doom and gloom, as I've said before, because you see me smiling. So although it's been feeling pressing for a lot of us, some of us, in different ways, but with good reason, right? I even got my smoke effect going on because, you know, let me give y'all a little bit. I'm by the fire. I'm by the fire. So, having my bonfire going on, celebrating this graduation day while sipping on my green tea smoothie. Welcome in, everybody, to this is how I celebrate my graduation. This full moon, I don't know about anybody else, but this is a divine cosmic shift. This is a divine graduation. It's a grand graduation. It's cosmic. It's all of that, right? So, yes, I claim my full. You guys have been hearing me say it. I am Celestial Earth, that I am. And from this day forward, that's who I be. This is graduation. You're not the same, right? When your nature changes, your name changes. So I'm going to always be Akila, you know, on papers and whatnot, but Celestial Earth I am. So let's go. Let's speak about the celestial coming to the earth, from the divine into the earth, right? As above, so below. All of that good stuff. Where my moon? I'm waiting for her to come back. She gonna come back. Y'all gonna see her. I decided to wait till I have the moon to celebrate with you all underneath the moon. So I know you're going to be getting this kind of late. Those of you who are up late will be getting it as soon as I upload it. Most of you won't see it till the next day, but it is still celebrating the full moon. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let me put let me get my notes out because I want to go into this. I spoke a little bit about it in the last video, and I told you all I would be doing the let me put it on the hook. You're gonna see it moving around, so bear with me. I'm going to put the phone back, put it on the hook. There we go. All right, so this time I'm in the backyard's vibes right now. Welcome to the backyard again. So hands free. Happy again, full moon in Capricorn, the second one. And let me make sure I introduce myself properly if I didn't already say it. Celestial Earth here in the 5D dimension, in the divine energy essence of it all, and always reporting to you live from 5D, none other than the fifth dimension. And as usual, I bring you the news to infuse, if you so choose, to infuse with the light grid. Get on your light grid activation. If not, you getting fried. I've been speaking to some people, and some people are getting fried because why? We're being stubborn, we're being impatient, things like that. And it's a good learning lesson, right? Anything I say is no what's the word? No discrimination, but discernment. It's to discern, no judgment. That's the word I'm looking for. No judgment, true discernment, and seeing where some of these faults are showing up. And I just came out of my meeting, my detox to detach meeting. It's been beautiful. We got one more week to go, and we're in the strict part of it. So we are seeing where we are finding out, and we're seeing where feelings play a part, with how we're feeling, paying attention to what's showing up in our life, world, and affairs are highlighted to us through our foods or the lack thereof. While on the detox, your emotions get heightened, right? You see your mental patterns. You see the patterns in your life much more clearly. So a lot of us are seeing that while we're in the 3rd week. And so these are some of the things that were coming up that I'm sharing with you. We're seeing where we're stubborn. We're seeing where we're fighting ourselves internally. We're seeing where we may lack some patience, where we may lack some compassion, maybe some acceptance. And at the same time, we're seeing where we have some of these, right? And this is all through the detox. I could not have done this at a better time while we were in the Capricorn window, between the 2 Capricorn full moons. So let's get right into that. Before I do, if you've made it this far, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you dare. Put some full moons up in there. Throw in Capricorn if you want to. But go ahead and light it up so we can light up the algorithms and we can expand our lighthouse growth and expand the bandwidth to reach those who may be in remote places. So we got to work with these algorithms. We use our energetic algorithms for their technological algorithms. Those who know what I'm talking about, right? They didn't get these algorithms from nothing. Trust me, these people understand energy and the way energy moves, right? The things you like in your true heart vibrations, that's what you're going to see more of in your feed and in your life. Right? Your feed is your life, if you can kind of notice it like that. So let me go ahead and get into this. There's a few things to chop it up about that I want to point out. First and foremost, happy graduation ceremony, because that's what this full moon is about. And if you don't know, now you're gonna know, right? If you don't know, now you know, and you're gonna know right about now. So let me get to it. What do I want us to understand? I was just explaining about it, the depths of it. A lot of people aren't taking it that seriously, and this is a moon to be taken very seriously. This moon and the last full moon, and why I'm saying it's a graduation. What are we graduating from? What are we graduating into? What is it asking for us? And what are the windows within the windows within the windows, right? As I explained last time. I haven't heard much people talking about it in this way, and I feel like it needs to really be given the due justice and right explanation of what's happening with the full moon. Yes, it's a lunar reset, and think about it this way. If it's a lunar reset, this is why you got to understand the cosmos in me. It's not just the celestials out there. This is why I love the name Celestial Earth. It's about the cosmos right here in each and every one of us. So if there is a lunar reset out there, let's just look at that first. If there's a lunar reset out there, there is a lunar reset in here, right? The sun represents our outer world and the moon represents our inner world, our feelings, our emotions, our really deep personal self. So if there's a lunar reset happening out there, what is the lunar reset in our soul, right? What is your moon sign reset? What's happening within your moon sign, right? Look at your lunar phase. Look at everything about you in your lunar chart and understand what is being reset within you. At the very least, if you don't even get to do all that, at least understand your inner world, the moon being your inner world. So what in your inner world is the reset and what's happening, right? And it's really highlighting to us what needs to be changed. Again, there goes that change. The reset is the changes, the changing of perspectives that are being called of us to happen. So with that, for those who don't know, the reset is where before we were having the full moons before the new moons, and now our full moons are going to come after the new moon. So is that a raindrop? Raindrops keep falling on my head. Right, so that is with the explanation with the full moon, the reset of the full moon to the new moon, just understanding that reset. The next part I want us to understand is the double window that we've been in, the Capricorn to Capricorn window, right? The first one being Capricorn at 1 degrees, and now today, though, it was Capricorn at 29 degrees. So we went in the beginning. 1 is the beginning, and 29 is the analytical, how would you call it? The analytical degrees, the end, the closing. So something is closing out. And not only that, right? We had the sun and the moon at 29 degrees. The sun and the moon are our luminaries. What are they illuminating? Ta-da! The Neptune's graduation. The graduation I've been speaking about since May or June. I've been saying that I've just been in this celebratory mode of this graduation. And what are we graduating from? It's a soul's graduation. It's a cosmic graduation. Because Neptune, we're never going to witness Neptune in our lifetime, in this lifetime, coming out of Pisces and into Aries again, right? It's not going to be witnessed in that way. So we're being asked to look at a multi-dimensional level where our soul selves are growing to. This is a cosmic shift for a lot of us. This is a time for us to take things seriously. That's why the Capricorn part of it is really important, because the Capricorn is about responsibility, accountability. And I've been saying this, retribution. Why? Because retribution has been coming up. I'm not saying that Capricorn is about retribution, but it can feel like that when you're asked to look at what you are responsible for. Where do you have accountability for what's been showing up in your life, world, and affairs? Where is that accountability, right? So it looked like the rain just going to be coming down on me. It's about the soul self. And yes, things may be happening out there, but what is showing up in your life, and what is the part that you play in it? This is the accountability that we're being asked to look at. What is the part that we play in that? Another part is looking at what we're responsible for through our accountability. Having accountability, and the next step is being responsible. So there are things happening, and it's different for everybody. It's not cookie cut. It's not one straight cookie cut. You have to find within yourself where there needs to be accountability. And where there are delays and stagnations in your life, it is because you have not found what you needed to shift out of, right? And we have this window of opportunity to shift or not, right, with the graduation. And what that means is not everybody's graduating, right? This is a graduation ceremony, and this full moon is definitely highlighting the Neptunian energy, so to speak. And Neptune, that energy is about, it's about dreams and aspirations. Yes, you may hear some people talk about that, but what's missing that people don't talk about is the shadow aspects, which are illusions or delusions and addictions, right? And any kind of addiction. I'm not just talking about drug addiction. I'm talking about thoughts, old thoughts that we're addicted to thinking, old feelings that we're addicted to feeling. Like, we got to think that deep. All kind of addictions that are happening, obsessions, all of these things that play around in fantasy land and imaginary land and things like that. That was something that we talked about in our group. Like, sometimes we're being stubborn because we're holding on to our illusions, and it has such a vice grip on us, right? And what I was able to point out is that what has been happening, we have to realize that Neptune is that energy that is very big. It's been in its home space in Pisces, in its home space for the past about maybe 14 years. It's about how long it spends in a sign, in a house. And that's why we won't see this again, because it takes about, 14 years to go. 14 times 12. I don't think any of us, living that long to see it cycle back around again. So when we hear, and please know, everything that we do, this is how you know the universe, everything is so intricate. Our higher selves, our spiritual selves chose to be here at these particular times to align with these particular angles of light for a specific reason to help catapult us. So if we're not utilizing it, I have to say this, shame on us. Shame on us for not using it, the ones who choose not to use it, to use these moments in time, right? We are all having these finite moments, every now moment in this time, in this lifetime, in this timeline, right? So this Neptune energy is doing one of the two things. It's either focusing on dreams and aspirations or inspirations, or it's fixated on delusions and illusions. And as I was explaining to someone, the delusions are coming out of distorted memories, right? Illusions are distorted memories. So we are distorted in some of our ways and our thinkings, and therefore we fall under the shadow sides of the Neptune, those who are struggling with that. And so, and you may have felt these imaginations, illusions, and things like that picking up over the past 14 years. Because why? Neptune is in its hometown. Once it gets into Pisces, it's comfortable with being who it is, how it is, with whom it is, right? Depending on who you are. If you're focused on dreams and aspirations, without delusions, then you're on the higher end of it. You're on the more evolved aspect of it, and it does you well. But for those who are struggling with those addictions and illusions, those are the ones who are struggling with the shadow aspect of it. And so it's time now to graduate. As we shift out of it, it's going to be moving into Aries, and it's going to be new beginnings, and it's going to carry with it what it's graduated with, if that makes sense. So whatever we graduate with, or the lack thereof, that's what we're going over into when it comes to our dreams and aspirations, or the illusions that you may be trapped in because you didn't take the time to get rid of it. The last month, I know a lot of people have been saying they've been seeing a lot of changes. The last month does that. The last month has brought that about because you're forced to look at those responsibilities with the full moon in Capricorn. It's highlighting that to bring up some of these things, especially with Pluto, that was also in an aspect with Neptune. Pluto, which was also helping because the revelations of truth help to bring a realistic tone to Neptune, right? And this has been happening since last year when Pluto first went into Aquarius. In that regard, helping to catapult us, helping to usher us along into the Aquarian age a little bit more. And so with that said, let me go back to when I was saying that for the last couple of years, we may have been getting, our Neptunian energy has gotten comfortable. It started to get uncomfortable once Saturn got in there, which again was also at the same time, March of last year, 2023, around the same time that Pluto went into Aquarius. So it shook up some things, and it brought, with Saturn coming in there, Saturn brings in the reality, reality check. It's the, what do you call it when you go through the airport? It's the checkpoint. That's what I call Saturn. Reality check, and it comes in. And so a lot of people have been feeling uncomfortable because here comes Saturn, the Lord of Karma, inside of the house of Karma, bringing the reality check to fantasy land and dreamland, and where you want to go off too far into your dreams, and it's bringing that back in. And for some people, it's downright exposing them, right? And this is why we're facing exposure. And as I said, it's been happening more at a personal level rather than just at a celebrity level. We, all individuals, have been feeling the exposure, even more so in the last month while we were in the window, in the Capricorn window. Cheers to that, right? A lot of people may have been bothered by it, but I see it as a beautiful thing because it's calling us to step up to the plate, right? So I'm saying this so, stick with me, follow with me to kind of lead to what's really happening, the surrounding event, what's happening with this graduation, right? We don't just reach graduation day. We go through some things. We have some tests. We have some trials. And so the soul has been going through it. A lot of us, different ways. It's multi-complex, right? If I was to explain it, you have to think multi-complex, multi-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional, right? There are a couple of things happening. at this moment, as I said, and there are windows within windows within windows. It's kind of like when your computer is open and you got all these windows open, right? So with this graduation, it's like this window is closing. The full moon, this window, this graduation, the window, the Capricorn window, that window is closing. But then another window that expands this graduation is Neptune still being at 29 degrees until August. So some of us, if you haven't gotten what you needed to get done, if you haven't been able to step into that part of you or start doing the work, you have another month, right? And then that window closes. And then the next window that's going to be open is looking at Pluto. When Pluto dials back into Capricorn at 29 degrees, and you have that last time that Pluto's going to be at 29 degrees until it moves forward in Aquarius for good. It's been doing the back and forth, back, forth and forth. It's been doing that since last year when it just touched Aquarius, and this is the last time it's going to dip back, giving those who need to have another opportunity, right? Those old paradigms that are closing out, the old concepts that we need to close out. We're going to get one last dip at that before moving forward. And it's not doom or gloom, but what I'm saying is it makes it harder for us when we don't align with these energies. It makes it a little bit harder, a little bit or a lot of bit harder when we don't align with the energies as it's afforded to us. So this day is like we walking across the stage, right? Celebration, salute, graduation. The luminaries came to high. I don't know how many people have been I haven't heard anyone talking about how the sun and the moon is highlighting the stage for Neptune to cross the graduation stage. They're setting up the ceremony. They're letting you know, hey, it's time. It's time, babies. It's time to let that go. Whatever you need to let go, if you got illusions and addictions and secret faults within the secret vaults, all of those things that are holding you back, any stagnations that you're having in your life, it is you. And we will see the truth when we hold accountability. That's what Capricorn was holding us to. And this is going to help us take a big chunk off that we need to take off and step into our soul unfoldment. It's a huge advancement where we're now going to be graduating and stepping in. It's like when you're going into college and we're getting ready, we're going into the university, right? Now they say university, mine's is the university, right? That's what I'm opening up. When we talk about the cosmos in me, the universe that is within me, so I'm in my university. And we're all graduating to the next level. Well, let me not say all. Either way, it's some type of forward movement, even if you don't get to cross that timeline of your soul timeline self, right? Because there is something definitely shifting, and that's why the split is being shown more, because some people in relationships, right? So let me even mention that. This is not to be taken lightly. It's happening in relationships all over. And you're wondering what's happening. It's because one of you are graduating and one of you are not. This is why I said everybody's not graduating. You know how they always say everybody can't go. Everybody not gonna make it. It's not in the sense of everybody's gonna die. Like, it's not doom and gloom. It's understanding the energetic transits. And as we're shifting timelines, everyone can't be sharing the same timeline. Right? And when you shift in your timeline and your consciousness and you're doing the work, but your partner is not, then they don't shift into that timeline with you. So therefore, you start to see a split. Is there a way we can coexist? Yes, but we have to understand the split. It doesn't help when we don't understand what's happening. And they too will have the opportunity to shift again. There are always there are so many portals and energetic hotspots and opportunities. The next angles of light, right, are always there to bring forth. But you got to utilize what you have when you have it, right? And I'm utilizing this angle of light right here. This graduation ceremony is a major ceremony because it's really highlighting what we need to get out of the clouds in our head about. What illusions do we have, right? I had like this blind mom thing going on, right? And it's not gender. You could be a man and have this. This is just what I call it. It's because it's like being like a blind mother who coddles their children, and no matter what they see that their children are doing wrong, they still give them a pass. You know, they still give them the benefit of the doubt and grace. And this is why I say it's not my job to give grace, even as a parent. That's the divine's job. It's not, the grace is already afforded to us. It's not my job to do that. It's not my job to give you the benefit of the doubt. It's my job to be in the truth. So we have to stand firm and stop enabling. We enable others when we take the blind mom's approach, right? Want to turn a blind eye, like, oh, I don't see nothing, but you know you've seen it, and you know deep down that you have concerns, regrets, worries, but you keep getting up every day and acting like you don't, and that's called incoherent. That is called inauthentic, and it's not a coherent vibration, right? And the energies are picking up where we can't carry these incoherent vibrations into the next timeline. That's why we can't go. It's not like there's a bouncer at the door saying you can't get in this timeline. We are our own bouncers. We bounce ourselves out. We cancel ourselves out by not aligning and attuning with the energies. By doing what? Our soul work. What is it that you need to graduate from? What is it that is there that you need to face? And for some people, it's not on the surface. You have to go underneath. You have to look at the feelings, the indicators. Allow yourself to feel so that the truth can be revealed. And then you will be healed. Right? There's nothing to be healed, only truth to be revealed. The revelation is the true healing of the nation. Ow. Right? So with that, I want to, as we go into this, as we're indulging, we're going into the moon, right? We're having a whole graduation ceremony, and cheers to those who are graduating. I have to say it again because it's not easy, right? I'm sitting here smiling, but it did not feel good. I spent the whole day at the beach and said, okay, come on, talk to me, spirit. Energies of divine, please come in and align. Yamaya, mother of the ocean, let's talk. Oshun at the river, let's talk. I'm talking to my ancestors. I'm talking to my guides. I'm talking to all the angles of light. Don't do me no favors. Don't go easy on me. I need the next instructions as I'm going into the university. Because there are definitely some things I'm letting go of and giving up. And I mean letting go of perspectives, old concepts. This is something we have to go through in our mind, right? And so as I'm doing that, it's the instructions are coming, and it's not easy, y'all. It's like when you go to college, when you go into the university, what's happening? You know you can't do what you used to do. You can't party the way you used to party because you got this major test the next day that you got to be responsible for, right? Your responsibility level kicks up, so you have to prepare to be more of a mature spirit. You have to operate like a mature spirit, and it's not to say you can't have any fun, but your fun is not as unbridled as it was before. It's not as carefree, and this is where some of us feel uncomfortable and inconvenienced because we're used to just picking up and doing what we want when we want to, right? Rather than having this smoothie in a wine glass, they want to put the wine in there or the liquor in there, and you know they want to have that kind of fun, right? I can have fun with my wine glass with the right stuff in there, right? And nothing wrong with wine. You know, you can have a little wine, but you know what I mean. It's the changing. This is a perfect example. Change how you are enjoying yourself. Change what it means to you. What do you value? The perspectives on what we value are asking for a change. And all of this is playing a part on our graduation and what we're setting forward to, what we're leaving behind, right? What are the things that we have stubborn? What responsibilities that we have? And I'm telling you, these energies are asking us to be accountable for the part that we play. Even in the social dynamics, all of this is being looked at. Think about the ecliptic season. Think about what happened in January around the Maherta frequencies and Pluto going into Aquarius. All of this is hinged on what's happening right now, or what's happening right now is hinged on all of that. And it's helping to support us in moving forward, support us in the social dynamic, support us in finding a true perspective in whatever has taken place in January in our lives. If you've had a major loss, grief, any of that, it's asking you to now take yourself out of the victim mode. Take yourself out of the pity party, out of the pity pool. It's time to get up and say, this is where I'm accountable, right? Even if it's not your fault. We're not looking at fault. We're looking at the part where you play in the dynamic. How did you show up in the dynamic which allowed the situation to happen in the first place? What was your mind state? What were you thinking? Because remember, we attract things and wonder where they come from. But what were you thinking? What were you doing? How were you being? And that will show you what you've been doing. And then you can make the right adjustments and change your perspectives, and then you can have the graduation that you need. Those who are not aligning with the truth of changing what they need to change, they don't get to cross the stage. It's like that. And as I say that, it reminds me of, this is a perfect example for whoever gets it. I did not graduate on time, playing around in school. I'm like one of them people out there that's messing around with 5D and the energies, and they don't take it seriously. Like, yeah, I'm in school. That's all that matters, right? Life is school. I'm here. I'm doing the school thing. That's what counts, right? No. You got to be a willing participant in this game of life. There go my light coming back. Come on, moon. Talking to the moon. Anyhow, you got to be a willing participant in this game of life, in your life that you have chosen. You are chosen because you have chosen. So it's not just going to school. But that's the kind of student I was. So I barely made it by, did not graduate on time, graduated, but not in June with everybody else, right? So let me give you a little bit of this story, and you'll see where I'm going. Bear with me. So I'm driving, I'm not graduating, but I'm going to the graduation ceremony. And this is what's happening right now. A lot of people, we all here at the ceremony. And I know I'm not graduating, but I'm driving like I'm running late, and I'm driving like a bat out of hell, killing up myself to get there. And this is where I see some people. Let me say what happened first, and then I'll parallel it. And I'm killing up myself to get there, knowing I'm not crossing the stage. I'm just going there to, see my friends walk across the stage, but at the same time, there's a certain sadness in me because I'm getting left behind. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I'm beating all kind of thoughts running through my head while I'm driving too. All the times I messed up and failed another math class and all of this stuff, and I'm like, man. But I'm chucking it up for my friends, but it's like I'm watching them cross the stage. I'm cheering for them. At the same time, I'm sad inside. And I'm just like, oh man, I messed up. I didn't do it. And that was one of my biggest lessons of what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. You get to show up to the ceremony and watch everybody graduate. Everyone who did what they were supposed to do to walk across that stage, right? And this is what it's like for us, right? There's a lot of us. This is one big cosmic ceremony that's happening right now. We're all here. Some people don't even realize they're in a ceremony, but we're all here. It's happening. And some of us realize it, but not all of us are walking across that stage. Some people are delusioned and they think they're crossing the stage, but you're not crossing the stage. And you'll realize when life starts happening, because you can't pass that timeline, right? The graduation is you having a soul graduation within yourself. And so you won't be able to cross that timeline, that dimensional timeline within your soul. And you're going to feel it when you're out there and you may feel it, but you may not even know. That's why you got to be aware and in tune. But when you hit certain things, it's like, why can't I get through this? Why can't I break through this barrier? Or why am I struggling with this relationship or what? It's because you didn't make it through. Like I said earlier, your partner walked across the stage, not you. But you thought you was walking with them. But you don't get to go. It's like Monopoly. Do not pass go. Go straight to jail. Right? Not that it's that bad. It's not doom and gloom. right? It's just that the difference that I want to point out is that it makes it harder as we traverse through these frequencies. It makes it harder for you to navigate when we traverse through these frequencies, when you are left behind, right? Because think about it. Once others move on, those who are left behind, they won't be able to be on the plane that they are on, the others who went forward, that they're on. And so it's harder for them to deal with certain life issues and things like that. And okay, this is what I want to say too, what's really important is if you don't go forward and you're left behind, when it is time for, I want spirit, bring it to me just the way you showed me earlier. I don't want to mince it. I don't want to side. There is, by you not graduating, you don't get to, I'm trying to say, because you still get to live life, right? It's not like life stops. It's not doom and gloom. But it makes it harder to commune, if that makes sense. Okay, it's not doom and gloom, but it's harder to commune. And therefore, that's why we're seeing the split more and more. This is a time where we got to really buckle down and figure out what it is that we really want and what we, thank you, Spirit, it brought it back. I was trying to find it, y'all. We're going to take that over into the next step, right? So it's basically like this. I'm hearing the do or die, or the choose or die. We have choices to make. You can choose to hold on to those things. If when we pass this graduation point, right, this is a window closing, we have another window. Once Neptune moves out, that's it. That's what you graduated with. So what I mean by that is those who don't walk across the stage, that means you don't evolve in the graduation, if that makes sense. And you take with you what you have. So if you continue to keep your obsessions, your delusions, all of the shadows of the Neptunian vibrations, if you choose to keep that, if you don't do what the necessary steps to remove it, release it, all of that, then when Neptune goes over into Aries, take that with you. That's what you graduate with. You get what you put in. This is how the energies are working with us. You get what you put in. So take that with you. You chose not to deal with that. That's what you take with you. Those of us who have found what we needed to find and are working on it, let me make sure I make this clear. It's one thing to see what it is. And it's another thing to do what needs to be done. So if you find whatever your challenge is, that's great. That's the first step, identifying it. But the next step is transmuting it, changing what needs to be changed, changing the perspective. This has been the theme even coming off of the eclipse, changing the perspective and moving forward, right? And this is what we're graduating into. It's a beautiful thing, right? So I wanted to make sure I highlight that. That's the doom. There's no big doom and gloom. It's just simply saying if you don't do what it is before the window closes, before Neptune moves out, what Neptune ships into, when it goes into Aries, that's what you carry with you. You will carry with you what you have. All right, so really think about, this is for those who really care about their soul unfoldment. This is not for everybody, because some people just here floating through life like I was in school. La, 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 I'm here, present, and that's all that matters. And life slaps them around and they take it, they get mad, they go about their business, they blame who they want to blame. That's that. But I'm talking to those of you, those of us, especially if you be on my channel, especially if you hear you about that 5D life. This is important for us to know how to get to that next soul level self. It's not just about being spiritual. It's not just about having a spiritual bath and doing the spiritual things and eating right and all of this good stuff. That's good. But what you're doing in here, what is that soul doing? Are you changing the things that need to change, or are you just doing things on the outside? You're changing your diet. You're changing how you, I changed going from church to doing this. That's good. It's steps. But are you changing the concepts? in the mind? Are you expanding the soul's consciousness into the fifth dimension? And these are one of the ways. All of these angles of light are showing us the way. This graduation is ushering us in. Pluto was ushering us in, and it's going to usher us again as the planets rotate and circulate. Right? See that? Circulate. That's the heart. And we're on the heart chakra today. My full moon is heart chakra day, coming from the root going up. So what is it that you need to illuminate, circulate? What is circulating around you and within you? And make it that important. I'm taking it serious. I don't know about anybody else, but it's that important to me. It's that serious. Coming off of the serious gateway, as I said in one of my other videos. Yes, it's that serious to make the steps, to do what you need to graduate. You know how when you like, did I do this? Did I get my core courses done? It's the core courses that count. What did your soul come here to really do? The core of your soul, not the electives. The electives are good. They make your resume look good. They make your transcript look good. That's good. It helps. But what is the core course of your soul's course that your spirit already laid out for you? We got to get back in tune with the spirit for guidance. And the way to listen is to have a harmony between the conscious and the subconscious, right? So as it gets a little later, there goes my moon coming out. She's coming out. Right, so let me share with you the download before I go. Faithfully, I was able to share some more of this graduation, like in the Neptunian energy and all of that. There are other aspects going on. You can look into them, but I felt important to really focus on these aspects, the luminaries with Neptune, because that is what is setting the stage for graduation day. That's the big whoop, and it's trine with Capricorn. It's trine being in Cancer, being that the sun is in Cancer, and sun being the greater light, right, is bringing it to the outer world. It's trined with Neptune, right? And the moon is in opposition, just means that, it's in the moon is also highlighting what we need to close out from 6 months ago. That analytical degree of the responsibility that we need to take about that. And it's the lesser light, and it's the inner world. So that's why we may be feeling some emotions about it, right? Because the moon is in Capricorn, but the sun being in Cancer is trying to Neptune. So it's really giving that light, and the moon is reflective of the sun. So it's only feeling a little opposition because it's, in the feelings. It's in its feelings. That's why we want to get to our feelings. So with that said, where did I put it? It was right here. Okay, I got it. Let me give you a little script here. So this is about the full moon in Capricorn, what's coming up. Most of it I've already said, just to share the download with you. It's a soul graduation, and it's a spiritual completion. I forgot to mention that, because the numbers for today add up to 9. When you add up the date for today, it's an 18, which is reduced to 9, and 9 is spiritual completion. What are the odds of that? There are no odds, because there's no such thing as coincidences and accidents. It's a synchronicity. It's a breadcrumb. Pick it up. So the spiritual completion is adding to our graduation. When you graduate, you complete something. So congratulations to those of you who somewhere saw the number 9 today. That may have been a clue to you that, yeah, you on it. You graduating. If you saw the numbers 919, 999, 909, 929, any of those type, you probably saw it in a palindrome type of way. 949, 9, the 2 9s with any other number in the middle, or you just kept seeing 9, then that was an indication. That was a synchronicity to you. That was your Blues Clues. Pick it up. Letting you know spiritual completion. That was the universe giving your diploma. Here you go. Here you go. I think I saw 919 today. Mine was 919. If you saw 919, it's unification within the spiritual completion. If you saw 909, it's neutrality within the spiritual completion. 929 is harmony of duality within the spiritual completion. 939 would be creative completion within the spiritual completion, right? 949 is foundational balance within the spiritual completion. I'm going to go through all of them for you. 959 would be physical spiritual balance within the spiritual completion, which also means change within the spiritual completion. 969 is receptive. 969 is receptive completion within the spiritual completion. 979 is manifestation within the spiritual completion. 989 is infinite existence or creativity within the spiritual completion. And 999 is exactly that, spiritual completion within spiritual completion. That means you, all them nines, you got it. All right, so, and whatever the numbers resonate to you as, I'm just giving you what shows up. Remember, when people give you their information, it's through their interpretations and understanding, and whoever it resonates with is who it resonates with, right? And if you have another resonance with those numbers, go with what resonates with you. Only take what works with you, right? So this is a soul-tastic. Let me drink to that. Soul-tastic. This is a soul-tastic graduation as we close out this lunar reset within the Capricorn window of soul responsibility during a season of accountability that brings us to a cosmic ceremony where the luminaries of the sun and moon at 29 degrees are highlighting the stage as Neptune crosses over at 29 degrees, walking across proudly to commemorate a complete cycle within the soul self, right? We are evolving, shifting within our soul timeline. This soul illumination is letting us know that we have and have not completed, right? Have or have not completed, and giving us, well, okay, let me say it again. This soul illumination is letting us know what we have and have not completed, and giving us the opportunity to make the adjustments needed if we so choose. We are being guided to let go of illusions and addictions in order to embrace our dreams and aspirations, because that's the Neptunian energy, the evolved aspect, dreams and aspirations, right? It is a time for mature perspective. We're being called to change our perspectives into a mature perspective. What are your true values, right? Major changes are happening as we endeavor towards our soul's goals, as we reset our internal lunar clocks. We shift into a new timeline of our soul self and prepare for the next level in the cosmic, in the university of our soul, in the university of our soul, right? So with that, what does that mean? There are new responsibilities to adhere to, and there's more that I may have to do a part 2 on that, because there's more to that. So this is the maturing up. There are more things that we have to adhere to. That's the responsibility. As you graduate, it's not the end all be all. It's like when you get married, it's just the beginning. It's not, oh, I'm married, that's it. Oh, I graduated, that's it. Unless you choose for it to be it, and then you are going to be stagnated right there, because there's always growth. There's always another graduation to look forward to. This particular graduation is about what I have just been telling you. Letting go of illusions, letting go of all those shadows of the Neptunian era. We're being given an opportunity to take that next major step in our maturity, into that next timeline, shifting. You don't shift unless you shift here. So you're not going to get there just by doing the spiritual things on the outside, right? And when you choose to infuse with the light grid, that also helps you, because you're getting the light codes. You're getting the 5th density light pouring through you to help you tune in, to help you attune to the light grid activation, right? To help you attune to what is ahead, what is shifting in the next side, the next part of yourself, right? And you're going to see the difference as you're in different homes, and we're going to see it in our home life, right? As we're coming out of Cancer right now, we're getting ready to go into Leo. There's a reason why Cancer is the lead cardinal sign of the summer. It's like you got to take care of home life first before you can be fluent in your creativity and be fluent in what you're doing. So as I speak on fluent, I'm going to close with this as a piece of advice with this graduation here. And remember, you have time. You have the next month. The graduation ceremony is like, this is what Capricorn was able to do and help within the Capricorn window, and with the lunar reset. This is how it was able to help. But then there's you have until next month to utilize whatever tools you can gather through this experience, through this lesson. If you're just hearing this for the first time, grab what you can. You have an opportunity. Still reflect and look back. Take note, journal, whatever you need to do to see what you can do to change your perspectives in whatever situation you're in, to move forward, to graduate into before Neptune switches and you graduate with what you still have, if you get what I'm saying. So some tools that you can use. This was the best advice I could give someone. Take baby steps, take smaller steps. There are some big things that you may have to look at. You may be trying to get to the root of something, and that's good, but don't wait till you get to the root, right? Do the every now moment things. What can you do in every now moment to start changing the perspectives? And what that looks like is start changing your habits, right? And it's not just about changing your diet, like I said. Start changing your habits, changing your behaviors will then change when you just work on changing this habit one step at a time. Then it will become your behavior, and then it will become your character, and then it will be easier to do. For those of us that have graduated and we're getting ready to go forward, let me give this piece of advice. Still take your time, one step at a time. Do what you need to do within your mind, right? One step at a time, and fix the preparations. We have to be prepared, because preparation avoids temptation. That means it avoids you having to falter back. You want to be committed. Stay committed in moving forward. So don't just jump. Whatever insights you've gotten to do next in your next level, take note of it and make the mental preparations. Prepare your mind so that you can then move into it, and then you'll be able to move into it fluently, but by taking one step at a time. Smaller pieces of practical application, catching yourself in your dysfunctions and in your defaults, knowing what they are. Know if there's any unforgiveness, any judgment, any of these other things within you that you're still holding to, unhealed wounds. Do your best work to eradicate that, and just take it one step at a time. Don't beat up on yourself. Be gentle and kind and loving to your soul self so that you can thrust forward. All right, this is a beautiful graduation. I'm glad to be able to share this with all of us. It is a spiritual completion and a soul-tastic graduation. Who's walking across the stage with me? How many of us are pushing the timelines into our next soul's design, right? So I'm going to leave that there. I know this was definitely kind of long because I was really wanting to get into the details of this graduation, what it means, and what we should be looking at. Remember, nothing is doom and gloom, but it's just understanding how you want to move forward. Everybody's moving at a different pace, and you got to understand your pace so that you can understand your space within your time-space reality, right? So, with that, any reminders? If you made it this far, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. I am going to be catching up to the comments this week. That is part of my commitment and one of my assignments. So my apologies for those who have been hanging on the cliff waiting for their answers. I'm getting into that this week. And I thank you so much and appreciate everything that you've been adding in helping to build this community and this channel, because the community will be built. We will have, I've had certain questions that I know we want a space to be able to go into some of this. This is why I say sign up for the workshops, because those who are in the detox workshop right now, we got a lot of answers today that were very helpful in our meeting. So if this is something for you, email me. The email has been in the description all this time, so you can email me if it's something that for you. If you want a session with me, email me so I can, if you want a more private session, a one-on-one, we can do that too. I can give a birth chart reading. You know, that's something I've started doing, but I don't advertise it. But if it's something that you feel that you need and would like to look into, I can help you with that as well. So, Celestial Earth is here, baby. I'm here. This is my graduation. I'm graduating into the Celestial Earth. So thank you for those who are graduating, and I congratulate all of you again who have been graduating with it. Anything else? Remember 5D calendars. Thank you for those of you who have been purchasing your 5D calendars and interested in it, and share the news. Share it when you get yours. Share it. See if someone else, like, you might want to get them a gift. I don't know. Right? But if you're interested in that, again, that information is also going to be in the link below. If you don't see it there, look in the previous video. It will definitely be there. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Graduation time again. Celebrate good time. Come on. Better do your soul work. So with that, I love you all. Let me get a glimpse of this full moon behind me before we go. It's behind that tree. So I'm going to close out with us getting a glimpse of this full moon. There she is. Leave y'all with that. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. And choose to infuse with that light so that you can move in your soul's delight. All right, so leave y'all with the moon. Take that in. Take a deep breath. And envision yourself infusing with that light, with everything that this full moon has brought and what it's reflecting as the luminaries light up the stage for your soul's graduation. Light up everything you need to see to be the next higher self, higher version of yourself. Allow this light to illuminate. Imagine it over your crown, illuminating, opening up. And as it touches your crown, it touches each energy center on the way down. Third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root. And take another deep breath. And send it to the root, through the root into the earth.